Welcome back to Elevation 44, and I'm B, and I'm back with another weekly astrology report. Now, for those of you who are new here, welcome. I bring you these weekly astrology reports so you can know what to look out for the week, what kind of energies we're in for the week, how to navigate those energies, and to best utilize them to your advantage, and things to actually also try to avoid or just keep in mind as you move throughout the week. So that is why I bring you these weekly astrology reports. I kind of changed up the setting. I'm outside again today, and I'm amongst my little plant friends trying to get a boost of energy. I don't know about anybody else, but I've just been feeling really tired lately. And there's so much that I need to get done. I literally have been in full Virgo sun energy, just literally organizing and trying to put in systems and routines and getting everything together just to get organized. Sometimes, we want to speed up, but it's, very important that we slow down and put things into place to make sure that when we do speed up, it's efficient and things are running smoothly. So that's just kind of been my energy in a nutshell and what I've been up to, okay? So let me know in the comments below, like, how have you been dealing with the sun energy as far as it being in Virgo? Are you also finding yourself getting super organized and just kind of, getting things together? So let me know in the comments below if that's you as well. So without chatting too much, I want to go ahead and get into this weekly report. Now, I will say that there's still, a couple of lingering energies. I've been repeating them week after week after week, so I'm not going to get into them in this video. If you want to know, just kind of go back and watch the previous video. There are three major things happening this week that I want to talk about, and they also focus around Mercury, Venus, and Mars. Okay, so these are the three planets that are really changing a lot of the dynamics that are going on with the energy. Okay, so the first thing that is happening at the top of the week, Mercury has moved into the sign of Libra, okay? So Mercury was in Virgo, and Mercury rules our logical mind. This is our perception, this is our communication, this is how we make sense of things, okay? So when it was in Virgo, the communication here was more focused on order and intelligence. Now, as it moved into Mercury moved into Libra, now the focus is shifting. It's shifted to more balance and harmony, and more so amongst our relationships, okay? So this is all about creating balance and harmony in our relationships. This is what this energy is mostly focused on, okay? So you might find yourself where you're kind of in the mode of wanting to play peacemaker, or just kind of wanting to come in and bring peace to certain situations, okay? This is also a good energy for networking. It's a great time for networking because, again, it's all about that peace and that harmony, and it's very sociable. It's a very sociable energy. So this is a great time for relationship building in general, all types of relationships, okay? So the things that you need to watch out for, though, with Mercury being in Libra, so because there's lots of beautiful benefits, but then there are challenges, which is indecisiveness and avoiding conflict, because this energy can make you literally want to evade and avoid conflict because you want things to be so harmonious and balanced and peaceful. You might be trying to get out of avoiding things that need to be confronted, okay? So just watch out for that. And then, there can also be a tendency to want to make a lot of people happy because you want to keep the peace. You want things to be smooth, and you can compromise what you want in order to push others' needs to the forefront. So just make sure that you're watching out for those things, as well as this planet is moving through the sign of Libra, okay? So there's just a lot of beautiful things, but there are also challenges, right? With anything else, there's always two sides to the coin. The next thing that I will say with Mercury, what Mercury in Libra is doing, it's also going to be sextiling Venus in Leo, okay? So this is a harmonious aspect when they're sextiling each other. So what this is going to do in particular is add another boost to the social energy, okay? So you're going to be feeling a sociable boost, like it's going to really give us that boost in that department. It also is giving us extra charm and social skills, and it's overall a great, exchange for less stress and more harmony in our relationships, which is the thing that Mercury in Libra is looking for in the first place. So with it, having this harmonious aspect with Venus hanging out in Leo, that is a great boost to just kind of add everything to the mix, all right? So now the one thing that Mercury is doing that is a little bit more challenging is that it's going to be opposite Chiron, which is retrograding through the sign of Aries, okay? So Chiron is the wounded healer, right? It's our soul's trauma, our life wounds, okay? So these are our deep emotional wounds, right? So with Mercury opposite Chiron, there is a conflict happening, and what this is doing is taking us to the deeper levels of our emotion, like of our minds, and it can cause some intensity that can be challenging, but can bring about deep emotional healing, okay? So this communication here can help us heal in certain ways, but can take us through an intensity in order to make that happen. So that's just some of the challenge that is coming in with this Mercury placement and with the aspects that it's making to the other planets, okay? So next up that I want to talk about is Venus. Now Venus has moved out of Cancer, okay, and is going to be in the sign of Leo for a while, okay? So when Venus, and very, very briefly, I'll just say Venus is the planet of our love, our romance, our relationships, our friendships, our, just basically our finances. This is a Venus energy, okay? And when Venus was in Cancer, Venus was very focused on just the lovey-dovey, the feel-good stuff, the sentimental, just like, just that I want to be in love and just wrapped up in love, and it's almost an energy that allows us to be taken advantage of at times, and just to kind of get so wrapped up and caught up in others and their needs that we don't focus on ourselves, okay? So with it moving into Leo, the opposite is true. Leo is very, very me focused, very me oriented, okay? Very self-focused, okay? So what it's doing is putting our love on the grand stage, okay? So love is the center focus, and it really is about us, okay? When, you got Venus in Leo, it's about you, okay? So the focus here is us, right? And like I said, love is at the center of this. Now this energy can be idealistic like AF, okay? So like love it's just like the ideals of what love is, and sometimes that's not what reality is, right? So we gotta kind of watch for that. But the thing about Venus being in Leo, this energy is like go big or go home, okay? Dramatic displays of affection, grand gestures. It's all about that go big or go home. But the Venus in Leo energy also, while it requires or expects a lot, is very, very generous with reflecting that out as well if it is given, okay? So that is something to definitely capitalize on if you have been in a position where you find yourself, kind of being at a disadvantage and putting your needs on the back burner, especially when it comes to love and your relationships and your finances and everything like that, okay? Now, Venus in Leo says, I deserve the best. I deserve the best, and anything less than that, I'm not interested. But the flip side of that is that we can get bored with complacency. So the things that are, because that Venus in Leo energy likes to be excited, likes to be stimulated, likes that big like grandness, like I said, and anything less of excitement and passion can become boring. So anything that is complacent, anything that is boring, anything that causes us to go okay, we can then start to have a wandering eye, we can then start to have our attention go in a different direction. So just making sure that you balance out that energy is going to be important, okay? Now the thing that Venus is also doing this week, so Venus in Leo is going to be trining Chiron and Aries, okay? And we already discussed Chiron's aspect with Mercury, but this is also a very harmonious aspect that Chiron is making with Venus. So this is going to allow us the opportunity to heal from past relationship issues or wounds, right? Through new relationships where it's an exchange of helping each other. Like, I'm helping you heal your wounds and you're activating and helping me heal my wounds, okay? So this is a great time to be open to giving and receiving love in different types of forms, okay? Okay, so my camera literally overheated and shut down, so I had to switch, and now I'm filming this on my phone. I hope that you can hear me clearly and the quality is good, so I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest of this report. So the next thing that is going to be happening with Venus is that it's going to be having tension with Uranus and Taurus, okay? Now, this square means that there is a testiness, something that's going to, unexpected events that can come in to test our relationships, because Uranus is all about change, it's all about innovation, it's all about freedom, okay, and advancement. So when it's having tension with Venus like this, unexpected events can test our relationships, like I said. Now, there's an increased need for excitement and freedom. There's also a tendency to lash out if we feel restricted in any type of way, okay? So single people who are, basically on the market for somebody could be attracted to types who are original, who are different, who are unique, okay? People that you wouldn't even typically look at, you might have an eye towards at this time. Now, I had already said that Venus in Leo energy is really all about being stimulated, being passionate, being exciting, right? And can be very dismissive when bored or feels like things are complacent. So with this tension with Uranus, we also have to just keep in mind that will be intensified, okay? Now, another thing, Uranus rules, well, yes. So Venus rules our finances, and Uranus in Taurus. Taurus is all about luxury, it's about material building, it's really about accumulation of material things, and it has more of that luxurious aspect to it with Venus, our spending. And when you combine that together, we can get into a place where we can overspend, where we want to kind of treat ourselves. And there's nothing wrong with treating yourself from time to time, but we could get into the flow of spending money on things that we don't necessarily need at this time. So just kind of watch your pocketbooks. Overspending is definitely possible with this placement. All right, so the next thing, or the last thing that I'm going to talk about is Mars, okay? Now, Mars is kind of like the big focus of this week because Mars is going retrograde. And that's a big deal because Mars has already been in some mess this year, right? First of all, we have so many planets in retrograde. We have, with Mars coming in, we're going to have 6 planets currently in retrograde: Mercury, Venus, Mars, Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter, plus Chiron, okay? So there's a lot of retrograde action happening in 2020, which has literally caused us to slow down and just tear things down. So Mars has been making interesting aspects to Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto respectively, and will continue to do so at different points throughout 2020. So a lot of the heaviness, the tension, the restrictions, the frustration that we are feeling has been a result of that, okay? Now, with that said, when Mars goes retrograde, Mars is the planet of energy. It's the planet of aggression, of war, of fast movement. It sees a target and it goes, and it doesn't want to be stopped. It doesn't want to be slowed down. It wants to be on the move. Now, when you're asking Mars to slow down, okay, slow down, it is by force. It is not by choice, right? And so that's how a lot of us are going to feel like the slowdown is going to be forced upon, not a choice to slow down. But sometimes slowdown is necessary, right? Sometimes you have to slow down in order to speed back up. So Mars is going to, this energy is going to be even more frustrating on top of everything else, okay? So with the square, or the tension that it's making specifically to Saturn, okay, is that it's going to cause more restriction, more delays, okay? Things that you want to move, things that you want to push forward are not going to probably be able to, you know, do that. This is not a time to force the issue on things. This is not a time to force things forward. It's a time to sit back and learn and allow things to happen to reveal certain lessons, because that's really all this is about, okay? So this particular transit is actually going to be happening from September 9th all the way till November 13th. So it's going to be a good 2 months chunk. Now, at this time, we can literally see the world slow down and come to a halt in some type of way, shape, or form. So it'll be interesting to see how the next 2 months play out and what kind of events come forward that really force us to take a pause, okay? And it could be events on the world stage, but also events in your own personal life that causes you to, again, slow down and just face the reality. And a lot of these lessons can be painful because Saturn brings lessons and restriction and frustration. I mean, a lot of the times the lessons with Saturn are very, very hard lessons, but necessary lessons for growth and in evolution, right? So, watch out for that and this energy, and just keeping that in mind. So when, you know, things, you know, events and things that you didn't expect pop up, things happen, just keep in mind what I'm telling you right now. This is also a time where, because a lot of these lessons and these things that you're confronted with can be painful, you can cause you to become internally angry, okay? And cause you to just boil in anger. And you just have to let it go, right? Because there is nothing you can do to really push it forward or make it happen any other way. You just have to let things play out. And so allowing yourself to just, again, receive the lessons without becoming too attached is going to be what's most beneficial to you during this time, okay? So it's important not to force things and to just have patience with yourself, give yourself grace, have patience with yourself, have patience with others, because this is just the energy at play, all right? So that is literally it in a nutshell. The herb that I'm going to recommend you working with this week is eucalyptus. Now, I don't recommend that you internally ingest eucalyptus because it can be toxic to you. So I would suggest that you use this in oil form, or you can use it in dried form. You can, you know, use it in different things. I just wouldn't take it internally. All right. So with eucalyptus, it's going to help you, you know, bring in some balance, boost your concentration and focus, calm the mind, and then also receive insight and info, which is going to be important, especially with these tougher placements or these challenging aspects happening, especially with Mars retrograding and making its, you know, tension with Saturn and Pluto and just doing different things, right? So this is going to be an ideal time to just kind of utilize an herb to help you just woosah and get the insight and info that you need to process everything properly. The next thing that I'm going to recommend, the crystal that I'm going to recommend you working with, is turquoise. And turquoise is also known as the master stone. So this is great for focus, also for helping you keeping out unwanted energies, and also helping you get through hard times, because things can be painful and hard with the lessons that Saturn can bring in during this time. And always, I'm going to mention that if you don't have a particular crystal that I mentioned, if you have clear quartz, you can literally program that and use that in place of any other crystal. So if you don't want to have a extensive crystal collection, I would definitely invest in getting a piece of clear quartz, and that way you can program it to be of service to you whatever you need at different times. Okay, so that is it for this this weekly report. Again, let me know in the comments below how you've been liking the sun being in Virgo, and just if you've been in that organization type energy. Also, let me know your thoughts on Mars going retrograde. Like, are you already starting to feel some of the energy coming in? Because a lot of times we can feel the change or the shift happening before it actually happens at that exact moment. So sometimes we feel that energy prior to. And that could be why so many people's energy is actually low too, because Mars, again, is all about that energy, that vitality, that force, right? It's literally our fire that gets up and gets us moving, right? So if that's retrograding and slowing down and reversing back, then a lot of us can feel low energy, hence why I'm sitting out here amongst my plant friends, right? So just have grace with yourself, take care of yourself at this time, and just continuously know that there is a bigger picture, there is a bigger purpose to all of this, okay? So I will see you in the next video. Have a great rest of your week. Peace.